guys, how you doing? We got Rick and we got Laura and I think Tracy said he'll be on a little later.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if about Gina, but whoever pops up, we'll let him in. So what's going on, guys?
Not much.
Get your
I've-
dukes yet?
I didn't get my Dukes yet. No. Thank you for bringing that up.
It's it's getting mixed reviews.
Yeah, I know. A couple of people posted say it was others are saying it was really good. So.
I seen they had a like a car gathering there, and it looked like a good amount of people showed up. So.
Yeah, I saw that. Who was there with? Oh, that was Jim Hartanovich, I think. Posted he was there.
Yeah, it was. That's good. That's a good sign if people start
Yeah.
showing up.
Well, there were some nice cars there from the picture.
Yeah, and it looks like a nice spot. It looks like there's a good amount of parking wherever they were.
Yeah,
parked.
people were complaining there was nowhere to park, and I don't know. I don't know why they're saying that.
Yeah,
There
I'm
was
not
about
sure.
spots there.
Yeah, I got to run out there one of these days. My nephew has a car shop out that way,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not too far, so maybe I'll drop in there and see.
A repair shop, or
Yeah, it's yeah, he just got it. He lives out there, and he was working out. He had a really big garage on his property. He was working out of, and he just rented like a really big shop.
Nice.
So he's looking for some mechanics if anybody's so inclined. Mechanically
I don't know
inclined.
anybody out that way anymore.
and where is he at?
Tell my cousin.
And I
In
think he's in
Mokina?
Mokina, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure. He's out near that way.
Mokina, Frankfurt.
Yeah, I don't think it's Frankfurt. I think it is Mokina, but I'm not really sure.
Am I hearing Sanford and Son trumpet or sax?
No, that's that CD, that Hank Goudet,
Oh, okay.
the blues guy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hurting today, man.
From what? The weather, or did you do
I
something?
can't remember if I did yard work or not. No, I did a lot of. I cleaned the whole house,
That'll do it.
mopped everything. I don't know. Played with the
I'm a
dog.
little sore.
So this is
Oh,
what's
my-
playing now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good CD.
Yeah.
Oh, my deliveries from Box.com and Chewy came today too.
Oh, did it?
I
Yeah, so
love
I got-
Chewy.
50 gallons of coconut milk and 40 fruit cups of peaches.
Oh yeah, you're into the whole peaches thing, aren't you?
Yeah.
I love peaches. That's my favorite. Peaches,
Oh, and a
and then I like
10-pound box
cantaloupe.
of Raisin Bran.
How many?
About a 10-pound box.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Raisin bread?
Raisin Bran.
Oh, raisin. Well,
Yeah.
Jesus. How many people you feeding?
Just
For
me.
how long?
Just me. The dog will eat it sometimes. If she's feeling irregular, man, I'll give her some Raisin Bran. Out the door you go, puppy.
I like Chewy because, then you never run out of litter. I'm on that auto ship for litter.
Yeah.
And, but they're always out of the cat food that my cats like, and it's just a pain. But
Your cats
everywhere.
eat.
It's
Yeah,
cat
Mary orders
food.
from there sometimes.
Mhm.
When we don't forget, I mean, when we notice that we're running out, we'll order it. But a lot of times we wait until it's too late, and then we got to run up and get it from Pet whatever store.
Petco, PetSmart. Yeah, it
Right.
takes like usually it's to you within 2 days, which is kind
Yeah,
of cool.
2 to 3 days. I always
Oh.
inventory that cat litter, man.
We
Yeah,
have,
well, for
we
cats.
have one of those automatic cleaning ones where the cat jumps in.
Yep.
The cat jumps in it and goes to the bathroom, and then it senses that the cat leaves, and then this scraper comes and scrapes it and puts it in
Yeah,
a box.
I had one. Spent $100 on it. That sucker lasted through 3 cats and about a year and a half, 2 years, and then it broke, and I bought the same brand. It lasted like 3 weeks because my cats decided they wanted to go use the front part where the scraper's supposed to come, and it would just put a strain on the
Oh,
motor.
So your
Wow.
cat sabotaged the litter box.
Yeah, because I wasn't good at doing litter, but after Steve died, I had to get good at it. So, now I can do it without throwing up.
So would you say you were illiterate?
But on bump.
That's a
Point for Dan.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well,
Gotta
I saw. Have you seen those round ones where the cats go in and they go round?
You
and
know what?
round, and
I
then
just seen that. I was telling Mary about it. And
that one looked really cool.
yeah, if this one breaks down, we'll probably go to that. I'm gonna probably look at reviews first.
I'm gonna get a air horn for my cat and put it on a timer. If he's in the litter box scraping, like he does, he's got that OCD shit. That air horn's gonna go off, man, and out he goes.
Be glad that they're covering it up and taking their time.
No,
'cause
he's in there for a half hour if I don't get in there and say, "Get the out of here."
There might be gold underneath there. You don't know.
No, he when I had my dryer down in Florida, he'd jump in the dryer when I wasn't in there. I was doing something, and he'll go
oh
to
my
the back.
gosh.
He goes to the back of the dryer and he starts going like this. So I put on some doors, break on through to the other side for him.
I was just looking through some pictures earlier today, and I have I had a picture of my two cats went into the dryer when they were kittens when I was doing laundry. It was so cute. They like cardboard boxes, dryers, any other little place they can nook and cranny they can get into.
I got to order a fire stick after we're done
Why is that?
because Cable wants their shit back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just going with
This
internet?
was an official phone call.
Now you don't need a Fire Stick if you have a smart TV.
I don't know if it's smart, and I don't want to find out because you know how I am with this electronic bullshit.
Yeah, but we could do a video call and figure it out with you.
Oh no, Dan doesn't have enough beeps.
Enough what?
Ask Gina about a technical call. I just lose
Wow.
it, man.
But just so you know, a Fire Stick is more complicated to use than a smart TV.
Yeah, just plug and play, right?
No, it's a lot of bullshit involved in it.
Ugh.
I had one. I know that. But the
Well, you know
reason
what-
I had a smart TV and I thought, everybody's talking about Fire Sticks, they're so good. So I was going to use my smart TV with a Fire Stick, which you can do that. And it was more complicated and it didn't work
But if
any
you got a
better
smart
than my
TV,
smart
you don't
TV.
need you don't need one, right? If you got a smart
Right.
TV.
Exactly, that's my point. But everybody that had one was telling me how good they are and you can get more stuff on it. And I messed
Just
around
ended
with
up
it.
messing everything up.
It didn't. Well, I just went back to the original and it was fine.
Yeah. I was thinking of calling Xfinity and getting them for internet, and because they'll send you a box if you don't have a smart TV.
Now here's what I would suggest, and it's super easy. Go with the Roku.
That's what I have.
I've got Roku's on.
Does
on
that plug
this
into your TV?
Yeah, it's an HDMI. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. I got one on. That's the fish tank is the screensaver from Roku.
Oh, okay.
If you look right here, it actually says Roku.
Yeah, I have.
So just go online, or they got an 800.
Well, you can get
You
them
can go buy 'em at
almost
Walmart.
anywhere. Yeah, you can get them Walmart, Best Buy. You can get them online.
All
For
right.
for the
And
one I
you
got,
see, that's the remote for it. Hey, Tracy.
Hey guys, good
Hey,
evening.
Trace,
How are
how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
All right.
good.
Nice.
For the one that I got, which might be the same one she's got, they range depending on if they're on sale. They range from $75 to $100.
That's
Okay.
for the nice ones. They have some models that were cheaper unless they've gotten rid of them. But the Roku's easy. The hardest part about the Roku is the volume's on the side.
That could be a complication.
So
But I really like the Roku.
I love
Even
it.
with my smart TVs, I run the Roku.
When I got my first computer from a friend of mine, she gave it to me, and she goes, hit any key, and I looked for 2 hours. I don't see the key. Get it? The any key?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Give me some.
That
I was in
the key.
IT. That wasn't a good joke. Come on, you can do better.
Got some real good ones if you want to hear them.
Speaking of keys, where's Mikey?
Yeah, everybody's asking. That was pretty good, man.
Or like the cup holder that breaks when the CD thing comes out. I broke my cup holder.
Oh, no.
Somebody actually did that at my work.
What'd they do?
They said I broke my cup holder. They thought that the CD thing was really a cup holder.
On what?
A computer, a tower.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Because somebody was giving them shit saying it was a cup holder and they believed them.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Wow.
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
well.
once washed keyboards in the dishwasher at my work because I heard that you could wash a keyboard
Oh,
in the
wow.
dishwasher and it would come out okay. So we had all this old equipment and there was a dishwasher.
Wow.
So I was telling people, I said, I'm just going to try it just for giggles. And I wrapped, like plastic wrap around the end that plugs in just to see. And out of
Really?
like 8 keyboards, only 2 failed, but 6 of them came bright.
I've never
and
heard of that.
worked.
Never heard of that.
And I figured I was throwing them away anyway, so I'd try it.
Yeah, right. They were
That's
going to
pretty
go,
cool.
as my dad would say, you were going to shit can them.
What do they call that? A hack, right?
What's that?
Shit can.
They call that a hack, right?
Call what?
When you got some weird stuff that people do and it
Oh,
works.
yeah. Hack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
a hack. I thought he said app at first.
Um,
Well, I heard it, and I asked people. We had a conference call kind of like this every week, and people, I guess, were taking bets of how long I was going to last this job because I told them I was going to do that. So one guy says, I bet I lost $20 on you, Laura. I said, you wouldn't last more than 2 weeks, and here you are, like 5 years later, and you're still here. I said, just because I do something dumb doesn't mean that I am dumb.
Look at me.
I wanted to know. Curiosity killed the cat, and I was dead.
And 2 of the keyboards.
To the keyboard.
Yeah, but they
They
could have
hated
been. They could have been dead anyway. I didn't test them to make sure they were all working when I started.
Well, then I would say that your experiment was a failure.
No, it was a success because remember the white keyboards they used to have? They
White
were so
keyboard.
dirty.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen a white keyboard.
Oh yeah, the white ones.
Mhm.
And
Oh, okay. Now okay, like off-white kind of. Like,
Yeah,
and then
like
when you threw them out, they were cigarette yellow.
I was
Probably
going to
haven't
say,
seen one of those.
and then if it was from the 70s or 80s, it was like yellow from the cigarette smoke.
not recent.
Yep.
None of
They were
those-
nasty.
Yeah. None of those are recent. Everything went black.
Mhm. Because they say once you go black, you never go back.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
And straight.
Don't get me going on that, man.
Don't get me started.
I don't know. There were some weird sayings we said in Chicago, like Jonesin, like I'm Jonesin for a Coke or something. Do you guys understand why I say I'm Jonesin for something?
Remember Modocking?
No.
Well, don't
No.
forget, was it Cheech and Chong or somebody had a song called Basketball Jones?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
that was a great album.
that was so much fun.
Sergeant Stadenko.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was when comedy records were so popular. They were on the charts.
Yep.
They were right in there with everything else. Led Zeppelin, Cheech and Chong, right there.
Yeah. We used to go to the Indy 500 every year, and we'd play like Jeff Foxworthy and all the comedians by the campfire.
Oh, no kidding.
It was good.
Wow.
It was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
I found something I want to rent at the Kegger. It's that
The Kegger.
slingshot. Have you seen that slingshot?
No. Oh, yeah.
Where 2 people get in it and
Yep.
it slings you like a slingshot.
Steve's cousin has one, so when we go to New York, we're gonna ride in it. And she bought one, but we were riding on the bikes last year, and somebody pulled up on one. I said, "Hey, he would probably love to go for a ride in that." So the guy took him for a ride.
No. This is a ride.
Oh, it's a ride. It's not like
Yeah,
oh,
it's a
like,
giant rubber band with two spots, and
oh,
they throw you up in the air, and they. Oh man!
I'm
Hey,
thinking
Rick.
slingshot.
Rick, keep
Like
in mind,
motorcycle.
keep in mind you're sore from cleaning your house.
And yeah, I don't think your back will handle that.
Can
I don't
Dan,
think
can you pull
nobody's
that
back that is on the screen today is going to handle that. Maybe Tracy.
up? Oh no, I'd be dead when I. No. Have you
Where's
seen
my
it?
stunt double?
I'm hurt just thinking about it.
Have you heard? Have you seen it, Dan?
I think I have.
If you pull, why don't you just pull it up? You know, do your magic and watch some of it.
I was in
there's
Daytona.
people passing out on that thing.
Yeah, I was in Daytona. They bring you up and then you jump in like a ball and it's on like bungees and you go in it. Two people sit in the seat and then you go down and up.
Oh,
I think
no.
that's what you're talking about.
No. This starts from the ground and throws you 300
It could
feet in
be
the air.
that.
And then where do you end up? Got better be
Back.
somewhere soft.
You go back down, it just stops bouncing and spinning in circles.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't
fucked up.
actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't release you
Oh yeah, no, you're not flying in outer space.
because there's those crazy ones where they fling you into the water, like into a lake.
No. You're just spinning in circles and bouncing up and down
All right, now I'm ready to throw up.
at about 200 miles an hour. They actually pass out. It's pretty hilarious,
Oh,
and then they wake up like.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild one. I'm pretty sure that it's the one that they have in
They'd still be trying to get my fingers off of them.
Have any of you guys been to Disney in the last 10 years?
no.
Disney World, not Disneyland. All right, Disney
Neither.
World had a ride. It was something with has to do with space. It's not like Space Mountain though.
That's
It was
Space
one.
Mountain.
It wasn't Space Mountain. It was,
Was
something
it
else.
Star Wars?
I don't remember.
Star
All I
Wars?
know is it was one of those rides that it moves, but a lot of it has to do with messing with your mind. Because
Oh.
it's a lot of has to do with movement, a little bit of movement, and then
They had something like that at
visuals. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Universal
trying
had
to
something
see.
like that too. Back to the
That's-
Future.
Yeah, that I remember.
That scared the
sort of.
bejesus out of me, man.
Because I went there 9 years ago, Universal.
My uncle got off of that ride there and he launched beer foam for about 15 seconds.
Is this it, Rick? Can you
Let me
guys
see.
see that?
I can't see.
There's a little black speck.
Yeah.
No, it
Oh,
starts
crap.
from the ground and shoots them in the air.
Yeah, well, I think they're already up in the air.
It's called the Slingshot Vomitron.
Yeah, well, there's a Vomitron and then there's a slingshot.
Yeah, the Vomitron is the badass one.
So
Yeah.
if
This
there's
is
vomit
Daytona.
in the name,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's gonna fling
Oh,
you
did
up
I
in the
hit
air,
pause?
man.
you might get a hint there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can
Vomit.
see that.
Well, anyway, having it at the kegger though, there's a lot of boobage that flies out too, man.
Yeah, we'd have to get boobage there though.
We'll get boobage. You book the boobage, they will come.
Hey,
Hey now.
I can't
Wayne's
do it.
World.
Hey, I got it.
Let's go for it, guys.
Woo-woo.
Uh,
The first woo-woo of the night.
If we were being recorded, I might have been tempted.
We're definitely being recorded.
I know, I'm just messing with you. But that's that slingshot ride. And then the Vomitron, when we were in Daytona, we sat, and Steve never
You
had
didn't go on
jello
it?
shots. I didn't go on it. He can't go on it because of his back, and I wouldn't go on it by myself.
I haven't been to Daytona in so long. I wonder if I would even recognize it. Like, is it completely different than what it used to be? Or
I went for the
it's
first time
standard
last
bars,
year.
buddy.
yeah, okay.
And then they moved everything over to a lot of stuff on Merle's Inlet. When I went there, it was
Yeah, I
pretty
bet
cool.
none of that was going on years ago.
But
Because I
Yeah, it
haven't
was
been there
fun.
recently. I'd like to go back. I think it'd be cool.
You know that Daytona 500 started out on sand at the beach?
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
they ran
Huh.
it on the beach.
Wow. No, I did
Yeah.
not know that. Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's Michael.
let's get Mikey.
yeah, that's
Good
the
one.
ride, right, Rick? Start
Yeah,
low.
that's it.
It shoots you up. That's what we watched.
It's
How high?
It
like,
goes like double the height of whatever that is. I'm
like
trying to-
300 feet, man.
Man.
They should call it the ball sack.
Yeah.
We sat and we watched it. I got Steve so drunk by feeding him Jello shots. We walked all the way down because our hotel that was down a couple of miles. We had so much fun just watching people get on that ride.
Yellow shots will mess you up.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
Mike.
he'd never had them before.
Hey,
Was
Michael.
Mike?
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy.
I drank, I think, 15 of those once on the golf course because we had a tournament, and my uncle drives by on the golf cart because I was on the longest hole, and he says, "You know, the Hooters girls are on the other side over there." I said, "Oh man!" So I go over there, and I said, "I hear you guys got Jello shots. I'm working the longest hole," and she's like, "Oh, we'll bring you one over every now and then." Holy Christ, did I get hammered. Sitting on 2 coolers full of beer.
Those girls are dangerous.
Oh, they're dangerous, all right.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous. There are 4 of them on the, I think it was closest to the pin they were doing.
I lost
Yeah.
Mike. I
He's
can't-
still
I
here.
can't-
He's
Oh,
there.
no, I can't see you guys all at the same time though on my phone. Maybe that's why I don't like my phone.
Yeah, I noticed
VERN.
on the phone the Zoom call. It's not it's not as technically great, basically.
No.
They said you got to swipe to the left or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I see you now. I put it where I can see you when you talk. I wore red even though it's not Friday for you, Mike. Because it's our Friday call normally.
Thursday orange.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to jump in real quick. For all you sports fans, I don't know how disappointing you are about what went on today.
Tell
But
us.
Oh, I think it was the boneheadest move ever.
I may not become a Hawks fan after today.
What happened?
Go ahead, Mike. You're crying earlier. I can see it.
They traded away their leading goal scorer, which makes no sense at all. 24 years old, probably one of the best USA hockey players around, and they wound up trading him for a 7th round pick.
They got 3 picks, I think, Mikey.
Yeah, but one's not till 2024.
Yeah.
And then they traded with Montreal and
Ottawa, right?
no, they traded another. They got rid of Kirby Dach too, which
Oh, wow.
that's
Really?
not-
I
yeah,
won't be
that's
able
not-
to bash on Kirby anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad for that one.
That's actually a good
I'm gonna
move.
toast to that one.
No,
Well-
he'll be good.
You
He
think?
will.
I
Yeah, I
don't.
do.
I've seen him several times in person, Rick,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, I don't see what they saw in him. And
He's not a
Wait.
first rounder, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe in 10 years he's like a really good role player.
Where did DeBrincat go? He went to Ottawa, right, though?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You watched them.
But
Yes, sir, Senator.
just a sad day in hockey.
Yeah.
I don't understand their logic, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I'm
maybe
pretty confident that my brother is not going to be doing a full season ticket. Thank God, because I couldn't handle the pressure. There was a lot of, can you go? Can you go? Can you go?
I guess they picked up
No,
a guy from
no.
a defenseman from I forgot where he was from. And then they just they picked up a center in the 13th pick from USA. So we'll see.
Hmm.
But
Gonna be
they've got
year.
no goaltending.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Who they
make
got in
sense.
goal now? Is it still God, what's his name?
It's so bad we can't even remember him.
Flurry?
No, they traded him to Minnesota before the playoffs.
No, yeah, and he just signed a 2-year extension.
With Minnesota?
Yeah,
Look
I just
out.
read it. Yeah,
They got Lerner and him.
yeah,
Ex-Hawk.
we're in bad shape. We're in bad shape.
You guys are going to start showing up with Lightning jerseys on.
I'm gonna start watching the Hawks and start freaking drinking again.
I'm gonna start watching the Ice Hogs.
There you
Might
go.
as well. It's the same team.
Oh, the Wolves ain't bad.
What team does the Wolves affiliate with now? Because they actually won the league title.
Yeah.
I want to say it used to be Minnesota. I don't know if it still is.
It's weird how it changes.
Well, when they
Yeah.
first started, they weren't affiliated with anybody.
And I'll tell you, it was
Hey,
so
Dar.
cool. It was so cool back then. I used to love going to Wolves games. And once that league folded, that international league folded, it was never the same. It was so cool when they were independent because they had veteran players.
Oh yeah,
that you
they had
could
a lot of
follow
them.
year after year. And in 1998, I had the real great distinction of going to see the Wolves win the title. And it was a game 7. It was so exciting. To me, that was more exciting than what the Bulls did. And that was the final Bulls championship.
It was fun.
And that was so cool. I really enjoyed that experience that was one of my favorite sports experiences.
Now I showed you guys this. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if Mike's seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
you dug it out of your treasure chest.
Right. Now I hung it up
Right.
so I can get to it easier. But yeah, we had original tickets from
Oh, wow.
their inaugural season.
Oh, how cool.
So
So you
I
were,
liked when the Bears won the Super Bowl, and I
yeah.
was downtown Chicago,
Oh,
and
wow.
they closed all the bars, but it was one hell of a party.
Oh, I was at the Rams game for the championship.
Were you really?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, man, what a ticket. That's awesome.
We were it was given to me from some guy
Damn.
at work. He couldn't go.
Oh, man.
We're drinking beer. We're slugging them, and the lady in front of us had a couple purses, and what she had was some hot chocolate, styrofoam cups, and I'm like, "Oh, thanks a lot." She
Mm.
goes, "I'm not done yet," and she pulls out a bottle of Crown and starts putting it in the hot cocoa.
Wow.
Holy
Yum.
shit! We were almost half naked by the end of the film, and they're screaming and yelling.
Wow.
That was a great game. And when Singletary hit Dickerson in the hole there,
Oh,
you could have heard a pin drop.
I don't think Dickerson was ever the same after that hit.
I don't think so.
I think that was a career changer.
Man, he popped him. Oh, man.
Oh, there's his cock. Gina's not here to announce it, so I'll have to.
Hey now.
Yeah.
and a nice cock it is.
Hey now. Wow.
You hear that out there, you 11 people following us?
I take it we're not live today.
No.
No,
Good.
It was
Check
too
that number.
it was too confusing trying
Yeah.
to do the live thing.
It wasn't bad. I mean,
Well, yeah, on your end. On my end, it was
confusing for
crazy.
you.
well, Dan was, he was kind of like turning into Rain Man after about 20 minutes.
I figured it out. I mean, but I don't know how to fix it. It was like it's a
Uh-huh.
7-second delay.
Oh, weird.
Yep.
So whatever I say, if my mouth don't move till 7 seconds, it's like
Huh.
I was in a Japanese movie or something.
Did you find out if they do that on purpose or no?
No, I think it's
We were
just the way
talking
it's
about
set
that?
up. No, I don't think it is.
All right.
Well, I had like a 2-second delay when I did that too, because remember I tried it to walk you guys outside while I left the computer on, and I heard myself like 2 seconds later.
Oh, really?
That's why I
Oh.
stopped. I'm like, I can't do that.
So did
Yeah, it
everybody
gets
have a
confusing.
safe 4th of July?
Yep.
Yeah,
I got
not bad.
I was woke up and I had 7 fingers, so that's not a bad year.
It was fun. We went.
We're
to
on the air. All right. Bye.
Didn't have much of a celebration mood after that. The Highland Park issue.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was
my
fun.
God. I caught that like after the fact because I had like no signal out at the lake, and then I saw people when we were driving home said, "Oh, Highland Park parade," and I'm like, "What the hell happened?" So once I got some signal, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, it kind of took the wind out of the sails for
Yeah. I think it
feeling
did for
good
a lot
about
of
that
people.
day.
'Cause it
That was
happened
so
early
sad.
in the day.
That just goes to show you it doesn't matter if you got money or not. That's a big buck area and it still happened
Yeah.
It happens
right.
everywhere.
Yeah.
everywhere.
If anything, I think there's more potential for that kind of scenario. And, people with access to that sort of equipment and just the mindset, it's really complex. I mean, there's so many stories that are continually being told about what the conditions were like, with that family. And
Mhm.
such that it really just is.
And then to take it on the run and try to go to Wisconsin,
Right.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
How did he manage to get from where he was up to Wisconsin with nobody
Yeah.
having any,
Right.
Because by the time they assessed the situation, man, he was long gone.
Well, it was
Yeah.
kind of weird because they were talking to that lady, and at the time we didn't know it was his mother. And at first she was like really cool about everything, and then she started like yelling at the cops and
Right.
finger at him, and it was like, who's this person?
Yeah. Right.
So was
right.
that just a tactic to kind of give him more time to get away, or
Possibly.
and now the father could be up on charges for
Right.
with the guns, and it's
Right.
just it's going to be a mess for a while.
It's messed up. You know what? I love my kids, but I don't think I could protect them after that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, that's just evil. That's just
Yeah.
pure evil.
Where does the parenting instinct cut off?
Right. Again,
Well-
I'd protect them for almost anything, but I think that line would be drawn there.
Especially if they're going to threaten to terminate the family. I mean,
Well, there's that too. He did that with a bunch of knives.
where's
Well,
the
look at Uvalde, the same thing. The kid
Yeah,
killed his
Uvalde.
grandma.
Right.
Uvalde, however, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
The
it's
parents
just like,
are. Oh, everything was okay.
You know,
mean-
I don't know if this is just really bad parenting or what, but again, going back, my kids are normal. They're very good. They do great in school, but I don't know. If I had somebody that's kind of crazy, I don't think
Yeah.
I'd have guns in my house.
Yeah. Right.
no.
or help them get them. He gave him sponsorship when he was 19 to purchase the first rifle.
Right.
I
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. Right.
I
I
mean,
think some of it is that we talked about. I think was it just fear. Nobody has any fear. There's no repercussions. I think Dan, didn't you post that thing about how not everybody made if you're a kid in the 80s or growing up, somebody posted it. Like, not everybody made the team. There were little
Right.
league tryouts, and not everybody got to play. I mean, that's just
Yeah, no,
how-
that wasn't me, but I've seen it before.
Yeah.
yeah.
You had to respect those that were able to make the team, and you had to get over yourself and your disappointment.
I mean, when I played
It's
games,
just how
with
that
my kids,
was.
hell,
I made sure that he didn't win all the time. Some
I
parents
had to
let their
put-
kids win.
If you
All the
didn't make
time.
the team, you didn't put the work in.
No.
Well, there's some truth to that, but I mean, there were times when I was on a team and I didn't play, and it was just because the other kids either were better or it was favoritism with
I was gonna say, or the dad was the coach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's the truth.
that's
See,
what upset.
playing football, it was like, no,
Yeah.
you ain't
You know,
gonna
that-
beat me. You ain't. I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna crack you in the head. And if you get in my way, I'm gonna crack your.
It just
You have a
started.
different mind. When you play football, you get a different mindset.
There were these tournaments that we played. I think it was over. I can't remember what town it was.
This baseball, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a 3-day tournament or whatever. And I made the team, and I went there for both days and sat the bench. And my parents were like, "That's it, we're done. You're not going back." So my mom made the call and said, Mike won't be there for the third game. And the coach goes, "Oh, that's too bad. We were going to have him, start this game." And it's like, what, out of pity? It's like I was there for 2
Yeah.
games. And then the
Yeah.
third game.
Yeah, I
all
was
of a
just
sudden-
gonna call you about that.
Yeah.
So,
He
my
was
mom
there.
took me out of baseball, before I got to the pony leagues. And, trying to do it again in high school, it was about a 2-3 year, maybe even 4 year. that I hadn't played, and it just didn't work out. I couldn't get back into the routine, of playing. And then of course, having older siblings who were in sports and kind of upset some of the coaches didn't help. So I don't know if that played a role in me not playing, but it
Pay
was
for
the
the
same.
sins of our siblings.
It was the same thing in high school. The coaches had their favorites, and
Yeah.
I didn't play freshman year. I tried out sophomore year, and then it turned out I found out I needed glasses,
Hmm.
and that might have been a big part of it why I didn't play, because I couldn't see the ball. It was because of driver's ed. I found out I needed to wear glasses,
Wow.
but then it was too late. I already had quit the team and went on to do other things. So,
Theater.
but,
The
yeah.
stuff of legend.
But this now they're bringing all this mental health stuff into everything, and parents need to be more involved in their kids and blah blah blah. And it's like, I kind of I have some of that with in my life. I have someone who needs some attention more than others, and I think I do a pretty good job of trying to stay on top of things. But how much can you do? How much can you do after they're 21?
Well, the bottom line is you do what you can do.
And that's
So,
all you can do.
That's all you can do.
I think
To
at
hear
some
about-
point you have to look at resources beyond the house and say, I need others to intervene.
A lot
There
of
needs to
times
be
you won't get that
intervention.
help though, Trace.
They're like, oh, well, maybe if they took their medications and they did their therapy and blah blah blah, things would be different. And it's like,
But and those parents, you don't know because you're not there. Because I don't care what anyone says, there are a lot of very disengaged parents.
Yes.
Maybe not because they don't care, but maybe because that single mom has to work 2.5 jobs
Right.
to make ends meet. So they're absent because they may have no other choice. And that's one way of not being there for your kids. And then there are a lot of people who, would rather do other things than spend time with their kids. But I'm so glad for the family that I was brought up with and the circle of people, and even Argo. I mean, we're like this family here now. And
Yeah.
it's just, some people don't have those blessings.
Well,
I
you
don't,
know what? You've got a lot. What you said about the single mom working, 2.5 jobs. I've lived that.
Yep. Same
And
here.
the
I
reason
grew
I
up-
got
I grew
into
up
the
with
stuff I got into was exactly because of that. And I know Rick grew up into the same situation.
I had football and weightlifting and weed,
Right.
Dance,
I literally
theater.
had my garage, my mom's
Yeah.
garage. I spent all my time out there just tearing stuff apart, building it, and in what little time I had, I did some partying, but I got more of a high out of building go-karts and mini bikes than I did, going out and partying with my friends.
Yep.
Yeah, we had my mom kept us engaged, ever since I can remember. We were either doing crafting, drawing, playing at the park. We were always engaged. And in high school, you guys know, I was in theater, dance,
Well, in high school too, we had
shop, pom-poms. Yeah, we
we
had
had
so
another-
much to do.
Is
We
that
had
where
another
Mike
thing
used
in
to hold your
common.
leg?
put it down.
Yes, Mike had to hold my leg in Georgia.
Put it down to 76.
we had another commonality in high school was the Sheridan.
76.
Oh God.
I mean, that's where you let loose,
Hmm.
You'd be like, did you I got an F in that fucking class. Fuck them. Drink another beer. Yeah.
If you're drinking enough
Yeah.
beers, that F looks like a C.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun.
We
And
did.
it was a good group of people because there were so many people from so many different ethnicities, backgrounds, life experiences. And I was so glad when my mom had to have back surgery and I couldn't go to Queen of
Yeah,
Peace
you're
again because
saying.
that school sucked. But Argo was a great place, I think. I'd go back. I like.
Yeah.
I think it prepared us for the real world in a unique way. I just remember how, you know, all the guys that were going to Lawrence, all of the girls that were going to Queen of Peace, were not exactly ready for the reality of the real world.
The smack in the face when they
I
got
don't
out.
I don't
of
want to
school.
say they were a bunch of racists,
Well,
but we all know that that was in play. Oh, you're
Well,
going to.
But you know what,
there was a
Tracy?
lot of that.
Tracy, you know
Oh,
what I've noticed about what you're saying,
Yep.
and not this is not a blanket statement, but a lot of the parents sent them to those schools specifically so they didn't have to go to school with those people.
my
agree.
mom
I agree.
sent me to Peace freshman year, and she sent my brother to Lawrence. But she sent us there because of what happened with the race riots and all the people of our color, you know, getting stabbed. And my friend Julie went to Queen of Peace with me freshman year, and then we both went to the public schools. Argo was a good school, but she was a blonde-haired girl at Kennedy, and they cut all her hair off in the bathroom.
Oh,
They
boy.
beat the crap out of her
Oh man.
just because she was white. And it was like,
Wow.
she's like, Laura, I don't know what to do. I think they're going to kill me. And
Wow.
I said, we didn't have that. I didn't feel that at Argo,
No.
you know.
Yeah, it had the reputation. Now,
From
when my
the
eldest
60s.
sister started,
Exactly.
you know, when my eldest sister started at Argo in September of 1968, cars were being overturned on 63rd. That's
Yeah.
a fact. She was bussed into a real war zone situation.
Yeah, my brother would have been around that age when that happened.
Yeah.
So he was at Argo when that happened too.
And in 1970, the basketball team boycotted the season. There was no varsity basketball in 70. I don't know if you know that story.
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was actually documented in the yearbook, one of my sister's yearbooks. I'm going through her yearbooks and I'm like, you know, it's all what the, you know, stuff. Amazing. Just
But it was
tough
a
times.
time of turmoil, and that's why my mom was afraid. But then
Yeah.
after, she's like, I really am so sorry, because Queen of Peace was academically way behind, and I was, you know,
Well, that's
But-
what's interesting, that people think if you go to a private school, you're getting more for your money. But I can tell you right now that Argo, the reason our taxes are high in our area is because our schools are so well funded that we've got state-of-the-art everything
yeah.
for an education in our area. Our schools are awesome. We pay
I think
for it,
so.
but they're awesome.
When we went, though, it was prehistoric. A lot of the stuff.
No, I mean, I don't think so. I wouldn't say that.
Well, I'm saying
No.
as far as athletics go.
Oh, maybe.
Well, Rick, do you remember the industrial arts, the vocational education building?
Yep.
Yeah, the campers in the back.
I mean, I'm talking 82, 83.
They
Remember
built that building.
that gargantuan building that was
Mhm.
built for the vocationals? And
No,
Yep.
I don't.
yeah,
That's
that
where I
was a
took metal
big
shop. I was
deal.
doing
I
machine
told you, I
shop
don't
back
remember
there.
too much about high school.
They built this whole wing. I forget what end, the south end or
Back
It
before
would
the
be the
football
it would be the
field.
east.
He got on the
East,
bus and off the bus.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
west, the
Lunch
west
and-
end, Tracy,
You
west
know
end.
the west end.
Yeah,
side
where the
you go
buses
in
used
for
to
the
park.
gym.
Oh,
Yeah.
the west end, not the east end.
Yeah, it would
It
be
was-
the west end where the buses used to park.
Yeah. Our buses
Yeah, and
used to
then-
come into the south end.
Yeah, it was back, like when you came out of the gymnasium from the
Was
back
that-
to go
was
to the
that where they
football
put-
field.
Was
They
that where
built that
Auto Shop
building there.
was?
Yeah,
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the Taj Mahal to
it
industrial
was
arts.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the irony is all the jobs got shipped overseas.
Hmm.
That's how I look at it. I
See,
mean, I know
we
it's an
had that-
oversimplification.
we had that weight room up in
No,
the
but
attic. You
The
remember that?
bottom line is that did happen.
Yeah.
You remember the
Yeah.
weight room in the attic where it was only like 6 feet wide?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The downstairs thing?
No, this was upstairs.
I remember the downstairs one.
For
You're
weight-
talking about the dungeon, but there was
Yeah.
a weight room up on what was it? Be the 2.5 floor or something.
Yeah,
Now, I don't
Sure.
even remember that. I remember it being down in the basement.
that was 3 hours of torture.
I only remember the weight room in the basement.
No, it was
Yeah, that's the only
wicked
one I
hot up there,
remember.
man. There was only 2 windows, maybe 3,
Well, I don't remember that at all.
and there was never a breeze. Oh man.
Wicked torture with stairs and gym.
And
that's
all you
I
heard
gotta
was
say.
clang, ka-clang, ka-clang, ka-clang.
Now when
I
my
bet it smelled good too. Oof.
when my kids were in there, they I went into the dungeon because they were doing something, some kind of I forgot what they were doing, but they had some kind of event going on there, and the dungeon looked beautiful. They redid it all.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it was real. Remember, the dungeon pretty much looked like a dungeon.
Oh,
Yeah,
That
it
was the original.
It was a sweat
the
hole.
dungeon
man.
was the original court for varsity basketball. When my
Mhm.
mom was at Argo High School in the 1940s, the dungeon was the main event.
Man,
Isn't that amazing?
Well, you know
you
what's
could.
to me what's amazing about it? How many years has what's the main gym called
The
now?
Swanson is celebrating 70 years.
Yeah.
next
The
year.
Swanson Gym is 70 years old,
Yeah.
and I've been to a lot of really nice schools,
Yeah.
and none of them are even close to what Argo has.
In the size.
well,
Yeah.
in the way it's put together, just
Yeah, and it's a unique design. I
it's
don't know of any
beautiful.
other
It's like a
gymnasium.
professional stadium, but small.
I used to call
Yeah.
it the vast and expansive Swanson Gymnasium. Where tonight our Argonauts are facing off
You-
against somebody.
I think
you-
the guy that
Take it away, Mike.
designed that was I forgot his name, but he was really a really famous architect from
George,
that did a lot of he did a lot of stuff for the city of Chicago.
Oh wow,
He's
interesting.
very famous. The guy that
Oh man, are
designed
you
it.
teasing us with like a trivia question here?
Yeah.
Come on, Dan.
I don't even know where you'd find it. I remember seeing it somewhere, but I can't remember where.
We got to find a maroon from 1952 or something.
Yeah, right.
It's all written up in there, I'm sure.
But
That
that's
would be
why I
cool.
think that's why that was so nice, because the architect was an amazing architect.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, for all the grief we took, I do take a lot of pride in the fact that we went to school where we did.
Oh yeah.
did you ever run those stairs, Trace?
Oh yeah,
Mike has.
I have.
Basketball. We used to have to run, they used to call it the 3-minute stairs.
Yep,
We would have to run the north end to end.
yep.
You'd have to run the hallway.
Do you remember the locker room
flight.
stairs up and down
The locker room stairs?
from the ground level, the locker room up to the 3rd floor and back down?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on the south end.
That sucked.
We did
then
the
you get a
north,
slowpoke
basketball
in
did
front
the
of you,
north
man.
end. And then we
It was
would run the
survival of the
bleachers.
fittest. You push them down the stairs.
No wonder I have no knee cartilage.
Yeah.
I thought it was the
Marathon.
2-minute stairs. You guys got 3?
They called it, the circuit was the 3-minute stairs. All that concrete, all that tile.
Those stairs just suck.
How many
Let's
how many
just face
times
it.
did either one of you throw up your liver?
I couldn't finish it.
I was living on a granola bar a day.
Tommy White said he'd never seen anything so horrific in all his life, my junior year.
Hmm.
He thought I threw up my liver.
Was he the coach?
Yeah, he was our line coach junior year.
Yeah.
It was
Did he
good
go to
cardio
Argo?
though.
Did all those guys go to Argo, the Whites?
Yeah.
Dave
Who was
was
the
in
one that used to be called Dogface? You remember him?
Dave White was in my grade.
Who was in
There
our
was
grade?
Tom,
Rick?
Dave, and
Robert White, Bob
Bobby.
White.
Must have
Bobby
been
was-
Bobby.
yeah. He was a-
Someone
he
used
was
to
a
call him
senior.
Dogface.
I got a trivia question for you that I found out yesterday.
Hmm.
What high school did Lou Canellis go to?
who?
Oh wow!
Lou Canellis.
Who the hell is
I always
that?
knew him from being from Oak Lawn. So did he go to Richards
He
or did he go to
went to Oak Lawn.
Nah, that was close.
He's a sportscaster for Fox.
Long time. Yeah, long
I
time.
knew I knew the name. I just
Hmm.
couldn't tell you what it was.
I didn't
about.
realize he was our age. I mean, he was born in '64. Played
Where did he go to
baseball
school,
for.
Mike?
Huh?
I mean, after Oak Lawn.
I don't know. I didn't really look into that much.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, I Googled him and Turned out he went to Oaklawn High School, played baseball. So I'm
Did
like,
he?
wow, I wonder if he played when I was on the team.
Maybe
I
that's
don't know
why
what
you didn't
college-
play, because he was there instead.
Yeah.
That might have been
No.
his first big story. The benching of Mike Rendell.
Yeah.
You need to get to the bottom.
Who?
of that.
It's like the guy. Who was the guy before Garrett that never got his job
Oh,
back?
Wally Pipp,
Is that who it was?
the guy that had the headache.
Yeah. He never got his job back.
He never got the job back.
I could
So I
not
need to say this is the music that's playing in the background right now.
Who is it?
Mike Felton. He's a Chicago blues guy. He sent this to me. I'm
Nice.
gonna do a like a review on it.
Nice.
Let's all give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, it sounds good, right?
Thumbs up.
He's got
I
some.
like it.
He's got big names that play with him. Actually, did you ever hear of Corky Siegel?
Yeah.
Oh,
Corky
yeah.
Siegel plays on it. He's one of them, but there's a
Cool.
lot of other ones too.
So somebody posted something about what music, I forgot what the posting was. What album or something inspired growing up or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
what album like changed your life or something?
Yeah.
It was
I
multi.
was
Oh, I
I was-
posted that. Yeah.
I was big on Kiss. Kiss was like really popular.
Did you
for
answer
me.
the question or no?
Probably not. No.
Probably not, because I didn't see it.
He's answering it now.
He's answering it now.
I was saving it for tonight. See.
You know what though? What's interesting about that question? I couldn't answer it.
There's too
I
many.
couldn't.
I
I
know.
honestly couldn't answer it. Every time I think of something, I think, there's other ones that are just as, as instrumental.
Yeah, at least you're not.
Pardon the
You
pun.
didn't give me 17 different bands because
Yeah, no.
I
us-
remember.
Give us
Varied.
one example, and then there's like 25 later, and they're still going.
shut
I remember my
up.
first two albums that I ever got, and it was my birthday, I think 7th or 8th grade, and I got Sean Cassidy
Oh, man.
album, and then I got Styx, The Grand Illusion.
Oh,
wow.
Grand Illusion.
Nice.
Now there's a keeper.
And,
Yeah.
and
I
today
mean, that
is the
tells you my
birthday.
music stuff.
Today is the birthday for the Grand Illusion.
Is it
Released
really?
Yeah,
July
you were
7th,
you were saying that, Trace.
1977. They wanted
Wow.
7/7/77 to be the release date.
Wow.
Yeah, my cousin went to school. He lived with us for a while to Revis, and so he was friends with Tommy Shaw and that. And when I was a little itty bitty kid, they came over to our apartment when we lived in Justice and the
Wow.
Trace. And
Oh wow.
I remember one of them picking me up and putting him on his shoulders. And
And Tommy's from Alabama, which is like, I would think that all the other guys are from the neighborhood. And
Yeah,
then
but he,
Tommy
like-
was,
yeah.
You know.
You
It's
never
cool.
stayed in touch with him?
Huh.
my cousin was killed. So
Oh, I'm
God.
sorry.
yeah, he was killed by the Markham police.
Oh, wow.
my God.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
because they
I
lived in Markham.
Oh my God.
That's
a
why they
tough
sent him
neighborhood.
over to live with us for a while. Yeah, and it didn't get any better. Oh, but I have no proof on that. I'm just telling you what my aunt used to say. She said but he liked his pot. But he wasn't a bad kid. He introduced me and turned me on to Queen. Man, I love Queen because of my cousin David. So
That was like the first album I ever bought, and ironically, I bought the 8-track of Queen, "News of the World."
Oh, I love that. I had that.
Yeah,
That's with the big green, like,
Yeah.
robot.
and
It's got,
I
he's
should have
got
got
the
the
picture.
vinyl because the cover was so weird.
Well, it
and
is. It
cool.
was the vinyl I had.
And I bought the stupid 8-track
But yeah, the
Vision.
artwork
Yeah,
on
they
that was
were in.
amazing.
It was really cool. Yeah, the band they're all like bloodied by this monster.
Right. We will rock you,
Yes.
and We Are the
We
Champions
Are the
was on it.
Champions on there. Yep.
Did
That's
you
like-
guys?
Go ahead, Mike.
Did you ever have like one album that you constantly played like every single day to the point where it started skipping?
Well, I wore the Grand Illusion to a point where the tracks, the actual tracks on the vinyl, they started to look white. So that's how much I played that album. It was
I must have
like-
drove my parents crazy because I had Kiss Alive 3 playing almost every day, blasting in there.
Do you guys remember?
Wait. Laura wanted to say something.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, that's okay. I can
Oh,
wait.
okay.
I'm
I
good.
didn't want to leave you behind there.
My cousin
No
came
Laura's
home
left
from
behind.
He came home from the Marines in '84, and he says, "Hey, Lotto, you got to listen." So I said, "Who is it?" He said, Guns N' Roses. I said, "Oh, okay." He got some CD from a bar they were playing.
But that was before all the big hoopla of
Yeah.
Was that
Guns N' Roses.
something of destruction?
Appetite for Destruction?
Yeah, I've got that actually. It's good.
On vinyl.
No, on
CD.
CD. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
couldn't
is
tell
a
you
good
what album it was, but Led Zeppelin, they have the song "What Is and What Should Never Be." That whatever song this album.
Oh, I love
song's
that.
on,
That's
that,
good. Yeah.
That's a great album.
That's
I
either
love that
2
song.
or
No,
4, I would
Isn't
think.
it So the 4?
I think it's 4.
I think it's 4.
That album is so good, end to end.
I played
good.
that.
All Zeppelin
My
albums are.
actually I got 3 of my favorites. It's 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah. All right. Here's a good question. Name at least one band or 2 bands. Now let's make it 2 bands that never made a shitty album.
I'd say there's a lot of them
Just 2 though.
that
off
made
the top
that.
of your head.
No, I mean that made. I've never liked a band so much that I bought other albums, so I couldn't even answer that.
Okay. Anybody?
Rush.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you're into.
Prince.
Who?
Prince.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He's very talented. He was very
yeah.
talented.
And like no 2 albums were anywhere close to being the same.
I guess you could say Van Halen before Sammy Hagar.
Oh, come
yeah.
on.
You know what though?
Sammy made that band, Mike.
You know what? I liked them both ways actually. They were completely different,
The
but I
5150.
really liked them a lot, either in both versions.
It worked. Yeah, Sammy was a great. It was a great collaboration. I always thought.
About David Bowie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, that's somebody that like never did the same album twice. It was always something.
So we could probably do a list of 50.
Yeah.
Boghead.
I give you my 2.
Oh, Insane Coho Lips. Who remembers?
Oh, I do. Steve
Disco
Dahl.
Demolition, 1979.
All right,
I was in-
who remembers this band?
Damn Yankees were real good.
Yeah. Do you remember who was in it?
Tommy
Tommy Shaw.
Shaw, Ted Nugent.
Right.
Who played the drums? Oh, man. Yeah.
Michael Kettle something? I can't really read it. Jack Blades?
Is he the drummer?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Blades was a guitarist. He was from Night Ranger.
Oh, okay. I know this was considered a super group.
Remember that
How
song?
about the
Don't tell
Doors
me about
guy?
me.
The Doors.
No, that's one artist band. I don't have any of their music at all.
The
The
Doors?
Yeah, but I do like
Oh,
it. I just
Yeah.
moved.
you didn't like the Doors?
No, I did,
Love 'em.
but I
Oh,
didn't buy
okay.
any of their stuff.
What are you drinking, Mikey?
Seagram's Escape.
Any good?
Yeah, it's a flavored beer.
Lemon or lime? Lime.
Classic lime margarita.
margarita.
Yeah, he's going to be shit-faced for about 2 more.
No.
Now here's a
No.
Keith Richards. If you listen to this, doesn't sound like the Stones at all. It's very,
Have you-
very blues.
Oh yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you ever watched any of his videos, Dan, as far as playing guitar?
I haven't.
Do yourself a favor if you want to learn some guitar, man, and watch some of his stuff.
I've been watching a lot of documentaries on all these bands. It's fascinating to me.
Have you seen Bill Wyman's documentary?
No, I
No.
haven't.
Definitely look that one up. That was one of the best I've seen in recent times.
I got that song from the Stones going in my head now.
Which one?
Which one?
Don't want to be your slave. It's that guitar.
Dan, you'll appreciate the fact that Wyman was the band historian. He was the elder statesman of the band. But get this, he kept all of the film that was shot, all of the like audio interviews. Like he has an entire library at his home
Oh wow!
of Rolling Stones related material.
You know what that's
It's
gotta be worth?
incredible.
I just watched Gimme Shelter.
That's a good one.
Definitely look for this Bill Wyman. It's really, really
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that where
really
the-
will.
Isn't that where the Hells Angels beat that guy up?
yeah, killed him.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was like four people that died during that
Yeah.
event.
Yeah. Right.
They were
Look
trying
at
to
that.
they were trying to reproduce Woodstock on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
did this huge concert that was free at a racetrack, Altamont Speedway.
What are you doing?
Were the Stones ever in the running to be a part of Woodstock?
Hey,
Were they ever approached, or do you know that?
You know, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wonder.
I wonder if they were on tour and they couldn't do it.
That could be.
Well,
true.
if you ever watched the real, you know,
Send you
not
the
just
link.
that one where they show only daylight and a couple bands and all that,
then
but a couple of them bands were like pissed off because they went on at 2:00, 2:30 in the morning.
On Woodstock?
Yeah.
Yeah, Woodstock, they were playing 24 hours a day.
It was.
Yeah,
it
it
was
is.
an all-nighter.
Yeah, and you didn't get, you know, a lot of them were like, "This is bullshit."
Jefferson Airplane came up at. They came on stage at sunrise.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they played Jefferson Airplanes played at the Stones thing too.
Yeah, right.
And they were one of the first ones. They're I forgot who it was.
Marty
of the Hells
Ballin got
Angels.
slugged
Yeah, exactly. Who was
on
it?
stage.
Who was it?
Marty Ballin. He got
Yeah, that's
slugged.
it.
Somebody slugged
Yes.
him.
Yeah, one of the Hells Angels guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really bad. It was bad, and it got worse.
Yeah,
Wow.
he said to he's not playing anymore. They need to get off the stage.
Hey, has there been any updates on Santana?
I think he was just dehydrated.
Was it?
Oh, I didn't even hear this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he collapsed
he was
Oh my
severely
God.
dehydrated.
2
They
days
were
ago.
in town recently, like
Yeah,
just a few days ago.
That's another one of my favorite bands. I love Santana.
yeah.
Then we had James
Consistently
Caan
good.
pass away today.
Who?
Yeah.
James Caan.
Yeah. How about
What
that?
movie? Maybe you or Mike know, Trace. What movie did he play in where he was older in years and he wanted to go back to Ireland and find out about his mother
Hmm.
and his father? And his mother and father weren't married when his mother got pregnant, so they kind of excommunicated him in Ireland back in the day.
Oh boy. No,
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that
I
story at all.
can't remember the name of the movie now.
Oh, man. Man,
Something
boy,
about
that's ringing a
about
bell.
my father or something like that. But he
You
went
guys-
back to the
You guys remember this album?
Black Sabbath.
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, I remember this came out came out in the 70s. One of my friends had the actual album. It was awesome. This is one of those great artwork albums.
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of them albums back in the 70s, you can get really good tattoo ideas too. You know,
Oh, I know, absolutely.
And I can remember just going to the record store and just like flipping through them, and
yeah.
that was entertainment.
Or just
See, we
reading
would-
all
we-
the inserts.
We would go
Yeah,
up to
just
Peaches
reading
on
liner
95th
notes
Street.
and-
You remember Peaches?
Yeah.
Rec-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 95th there.
I remember JR's Music Shop in Ford City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
like my
Underground.
library.
That
Talk
and
about wages of a
Burbank.
misspent
What
year.
was
Burbank
the What was the name of that head shop in the underground there?
Oh, the Pagoda.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
We just called it the head shop.
Exactly. I never knew it had a name.
I think it was called
Where you
Pagoda.
could get bongs and shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we
And then they
we
get
used to, as in friends of mine, would
Yeah.
go down there and get the rolling papers because it was hard
Yeah.
to get rolling
But
papers.
didn't they have one on
Oh, you can buy them at any gas
Archer and
station.
Harlem there too. They had one, I think.
Remember the Job rolling papers commercials on the Loop?
I don't actually.
Yeah, they used to have rolling papers commercials on the Loop. I
You
don't
know
if
what,
they had them
Laura?
on
You're
NBC.
right. They used to go there for the pipes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to
Wow.
have. I don't know what I did with my
Oh,
shirt, but I had a football jersey that said "Original Joker." 69 is when the year they came out. It was a pretty cool shirt. And I don't know
Yeah,
what I,
because rolling papers were at all the gas stations.
Yeah,
right at the
because people
checkout
actually
window.
used them to roll cigarettes.
yeah.
Mhm.
Then you had the flavored wraps back in the day.
Right next to the
Strawberry-
flavored
yeah.
condoms.
Those
Really
don't
for
taste
her
You had the
good.
strawberry and you had, I think it was lemon.
Is that spit that gum out? It's not gum.
Hey now.
I know they had glow in the dark ones. I used to piss off my ex-wife with them.
What did she think it was a lightsaber?
I'd be like, now you see it, now you don't. Now you see it, now you don't.
They made edible ones just like edible underwear.
Oh, that was the cherry flavor was my favorite.
Wow.
Oh, that was the nastiest stuff ever.
I'd get
Not
double.
that I would know, but friends of mine.
You get
Not that
double
I would
dessert.
know, but other people
Yeah.
told me.
Asking
like-
for just communicating through a friend. A friend told me.
I read a few journal articles.
Right.
You
I think
gotta
I seen
hurry
it.
up.
I think I seen it in the article of a Playboy magazine.
Yes, yes, yes.
Play girl for me.
Let the record show.
Yeah, I forgot about them edible panties.
So, so
They
when you
still make
talk about albums, what are I don't know. Did we talk about this? I know we were talking about this weekend about how we sang songs wrong for years.
Oh,
and years
yeah.
and years.
Oh yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Wrapped
Like
up
I
like a
always
douche.
thought Elton John was she's got electric boobs instead of electric move.
You know, a lot of Elton John songs are really, it's almost like they were in a foreign language. It's so
Well,
weird.
you got the other one too, is Rock the Cash Bar, you know?
Oh yeah.
Casbah.
Yeah, I know when
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
does that cash bar. Oh yeah.
Dara
I
and I
always
were,
thought.
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was saying.
No, I was just going to say, one time, Dara and I, we were driving down to Florida, and I don't remember who the DJs were, but these were Atlanta-based DJs. And they were going through a list of songs that they had wrong. And it was so funny. We were laughing so hard. One after the other, they just kept coming up with these crazy names for songs. And there's like a couple I can remember. One was the Steve Miller song, and they would say, "Big old Jed ate a rhino." It's just like the goof. Sarah, you remember some of these, don't you?
B-52,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Like,
you know, it's Tin Roof Rusted, but I was like, because they were talking
Yeah.
about the Love Shack, and I always thought it was Henry Busted, like he got busted
Oh,
pulling around with the Love Shack.
no, I like that band a lot too.
Hmm.
I think Joan Jett, the hell's the song? Put another dime in the jukebox or whatever. I think there's a part in there that I
I
always
love
got
rock and
wrong.
roll.
Yeah, I always got wrong at the end, towards the end of the song.
Well, it's like the end of that one Beatles song.
Which one?
I am the walrus. Smoke pot, everybody smoke
Oh.
pot. Now tell me they're not saying that.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard the end of it?
I never noticed that.
Oh yeah.
that,
It's
Yeah,
John
I
Lennon-
the walrus,
John Lennon's
choo,
singing it.
choo, choo.
that was a Lennon had like from a very young age there were these comedians, and it was something, I'm trying to remember how it goes, but it's like jumpa. It was like a like a silly phrase of some sort.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
But it sounds like smoke pot.
Oh yeah, right. There was so much of that back then, of just like the subliminal, or people heard what they thought they heard. And
Hey, I seen something today on YouTube, and it's a video, and that was made in 1979, and it was Ringo, and it's long. It's got like 3 or 4 songs. It's sort of like a really long music video.
Oh,
And it actually has Carrie Fisher in it.
Wow.
really?
Yeah, she's really young.
Right.
And he's singing You're 16 and You're Mine.
Is she wearing her
Really?
Princess Leia outfit?
No, look
Oh,
Oh,
weird.
man.
for it. It's really good actually.
Did you post that?
I
to
did.
the-
I posted it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all.
Who had her poster back in the day?
Who?
No.
Carrie Fisher?
Carrie Fisher when she was
I
Princess
know the
Leia?
poster, but that was I if I had that or the what's the other one, Farrah Fawcett, I would
Oh,
definitely do the Farrah Fawcett.
I had that and Lonnie Anderson.
And who?
Lonnie Anderson
I don't remember that poster.
and that white beat. Oh,
We
my.
we weren't
God.
allowed. We weren't allowed to put tape on the walls.
I was Sean Cassidy, Leif Garrett, Parker Stevenson.
My
you
dad's house-
you had all the teen heartthrobs.
Yeah.
My dad seen tape on the walls. Your ass was getting hit.
Wow.
Yeah, remember that putty stuff that you'd roll and then you'd stick your posters on the wall? But people forgot that would like leave an oily residue. Oh, here I just
remember
saw
that.
yeah, it was like putty, kind of like it was.
I
like-
remember I had some old baseball. I think they were like old White Sox stickers or something that I got, and I had them on my dresser, and they wouldn't come off.
Oh no!
And I'm trying to peel them off, and it's just all tearing
Peeled off that
apart
fake
and-
wood.
Oh
Yeah, and
man!
I'm scraping it,
You're-
trying to, and they just wouldn't.
Oh man!
You're dead.
Well, you
No.
live to tell about it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because
My-
you lived, Mike. You lived in a nice new house. We lived in like a house that was 40 years old, and that was in the 1960s.
It
So
was
our
an older home.
we're lucky we had walls, so it didn't matter what we put on them, nails, anything.
Yeah, I can't remember how much the house was. Was it like 20,000 or something like that back then?
Yeah, my parents bought a 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranch, no garage, in Justice, in 1957. Brand new construction. 13,500.
What was their payment? Like $50 a month?
Yeah,
What
Wow.
year? What year, Tracy?
57.
Oh wow, my mom bought her house probably in '67, I would guess, somewhere in the late '60s, and it was 11 or 12,000.
Wow.
My parents were renting an apartment at like 56th and Princeton. That's in Englewood. And it was an African American gentleman who owned the building. And my parents were renting an apartment, and my sisters were little. They were toddlers in the mid 50s. And what a unique experience that was. And then they moved all the way out to what was called, all my cousins from the city would say, you live out in the boonies. Remember that expression?
Oh yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
You live out, and my cousin Ellen used to come over and spend the summer with us. She was like a summer camper
Mhm.
at our house. And my sisters they each had their own bed, they were like twin beds. They used to put the 2 beds together, and then my cousin would like sleep in the middle. And then after a while, the beds would start to separate. And we used to say, Ellen's in the crack. Ellen's in the crack. And then sometimes she'd fall all the way through.
Mhm.
Mom, I'm having trouble breathing. I'm not sure why.
She always wanted to come over.
you guys have any good stories about when did you share a room with a sibling?
Yes.
My
Oh,
sister.
God.
Yeah, my brother had the top bunk and I had the bottom bunk, and he was doing something one night, pissing me off. And
I never had a
he-
bunk bed.
well, he put his head down like this, and I grabbed a pair of underwear from the ground, and I grabbed it and I wrapped around his head, pulled him right off the fucking bed, man. Boom! He hit. My dad come running in the room. What the hell's going on in here? I said he fell out of bed.
Sharing a room with your older sibling is not something I
It
want.
sucked.
I've
I
lived
want
it.
to.
I used to tell my sister the vampires lived under the bed. She was scared to death.
A lot of horror stories I could tell you, but I won't. I won't embarrass.
But there was a lot of fun times we had. Like we used to take remember go-go dancers? We must have made my mom laugh their asses off. 'Cause we used to live in the Trace, and we would jump on our beds and we'd take, you go to sleep in your underwear and a t-shirt. We'd take our t-shirt and we'd pull it through and make like a little crop top, and we'd be doing go-go dancing on the bed and all
Goldie
that.
Hawn.
Yeah.
We had one
Laughing.
night, one of my brother's friends wanted to spend the night. Now, the bed was just enough for me and my brother to fit, So here we're trying to fit a third person. Oh my God, that was horrible. Trying to fit three guys in a bed, And of course he's 6 years or 5 years older than me. So, these guys are, probably, I don't know.
They tortured you,
17,
didn't they?
17, 18,
Yeah,
maybe.
they tortured you.
Well, and they used to they'd go out and have a good time and then come home and be all, happy drunk. And here I'm stuck in the middle between the two of them.
Oh, and they're getting gassy in the morning,
Oh
probably.
my God, it was horrible.
Hey, Mike, how many brothers did you have, or do you have?
Just one, thank God.
Steve,
Just
right?
one. Yeah.
I remember Steve. Steve was a year
Yeah.
ahead of me.
Yeah.
He used to hang around with Mike Plackey sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, Steve must have went to school with my brother Mike, because Mike
did.
graduated in '77.
Yeah, he did. But a lot of horror stories. My sister had her own room, and but you did what you had to do.
So,
you
Mike,
sucked
how
it
many
up.
years difference were you guys?
5 for my brother and 6 for my sister.
Oh, so your sister's the older.
She's the old.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever seen your sister that I remember.
No, she was kind of quiet. She didn't really.
Steve was a real popular guy.
Oh
actually.
yeah, he sure was.
Yeah, I remember. Like I
More
said.
ways than one. At
Yeah,
least he thought he was anyway.
No, he was. I remember him.
He
My sister, Rocky, Leslie. I don't know. She was more quiet. She was a little shyer than I was. Mike remembers her, I'm sure. Do you remember her? Because she graduated your year, Rick.
I don't think I do. Like I said, I don't remember too much about high school.
Well, you remembered
Spanish-
me.
Huh?
I said you remembered me.
Oh yeah, you had the hot hair and no, never mind.
Oh, God. I'm trying to see if I pull up a picture of my sister, but here she is with her daughter. Let me see if I get it in good enough.
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah.
Do you remember Rocky at all?
No.
He was always like, had to come out with me all the time. I'm like, if I'm drinking, you're drinking, because I'm not getting busted without you.
So was that? I'm not sure. Is she older or younger than you?
She's 14 months younger than me.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So she was 83. But I graduated early because I didn't go to kindergarten. I
Did
went
she
straight
fill
to
out that
first grade.
survey?
I don't know. I don't even know if you guys have her.
Does she
Her
live
friend.
in our area?
No, she's living in Greenville, North Carolina, but she just got a new job and she's moving to Louisville, Kentucky. And after my niece's shower, because my niece is getting ready to have her first baby, that'll be her first
cool.
grandbaby.
Congratulations.
So she's gonna be close.
So you guys all escaped down south, huh?
Yeah, well, I stayed in Chicago till I got married to Steve, and then
I
we
should
moved
have
to
never
Michigan.
came back.
I kind of miss people. I mean, it's like I had really good connections with a lot of people, and that was, I think, the hardest part for me, to move away and, not being able to like hang out with your friends and have a group. I mean, my motorcycle family in Michigan was really good support, but it was tough,
Yeah.
But that's because I had a positive experience. I liked where I lived, but I kind of like where I'm at now too.
So was it a
Life has just
motorcycle
changed.
club? Or
Yeah,
just a
it
group
was
of
it was
people?
just a Harley owners group. We bought motorcycles when I moved to Michigan, and so we joined the local Harley Hog chapter through the dealership, and that's how I
okay.
met so many people. And really good friend of mine, well, a few really good friends have passed away this year already, but we're that age, it's like, oh, don't tell me another one. But people are just, in that kind of group, or like our group, we all have a commonality, and it's kind of nice that some of them like adopted me. They're like, you're my adopted sister, and and they adopted Nick, and we have our family, my Michigan peeps, as I call them.
An extended family.
Yeah, I'm really lucky, and I'm very blessed with the circle of people I have from, I'd say, my whole life. And I always say, when you're one of my friends, you're going to stay in my heart forever. And I'm kind of a dork that way, but it's just that so many people have so many neat things to offer. And, I'm grateful.
I'll
for
send
every
you a
single
list
person.
of 5 of mine.
Of your what? Oh, 5 of yours?
Yeah.
No, but some of them are just acquaintances, but there are people that have been there, like, and made sure for the first year after I lost my husband that somebody was contacting me at least once a day to check in on me, all the way until the year anniversary. Sometimes it was 1, 2, sometimes it was 8 via phone call, a text, a Facebook post. That's a blessing.
Yeah,
And-
it is. It
And just
really is.
reconnecting with you guys and getting to meet you, Tracy and Dan, and and Rick, getting to know you better, and Mike. Well,
Yeah.
you're Mike. We love you too. But they're blessings to me, and there's my dork rant for you, because
Yeah.
I'll start crying happy tears soon. Look at, I better shut up.
There's no crying on this show.
Well,
Well,
happy tears are good.
Yeah.
The other sad part is, and
It is.
I don't know if this goes along with the rest of you, but the area that we grew up in, the people that we had for friends and everything, all those years, all that time, all that friendship, hanging out, going places, meeting new people, getting, hanging out with I wasn't really into cars, but everyone else was, so I kind of just went along with the program.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, you went along for the ride.
I had the
But I'm
invitation, so I just took it and
2
ran with
points,
it.
Dan.
And now you look back, and it's like out of that whole group, it's like there's nobody. I mean, there's just nobody left from the
Yeah.
Bridgeview group that other than now with being with Dan, everyone that Dan and I hung around with is as far as me, all ties are just gone. I mean, there's just no interaction with any of them. And it's, John and Frank and Joe and Tony and Brian, and the list goes on. And it's like, it's just kind of sad. I mean,
Yeah, you guys are so tight. So tight.
we had our own little group,
Yeah.
we drive our bikes up and down the blocks, and we, hang out constantly.
Yeah.
And now it's just like there's just nothing. The disconnect is, empty. It's gone.
Now, are they on Facebook, some of those people, like where you can see, or?
Well, some of it was me wanting to get away from that. I mean, it just seemed like the older we have, the older we were getting, they would never let go of that history of the stuff that we did at the Sheridan or that we did at someone's house. And it just seemed like it was always the same routine. It was the same conversations. It was the same, hey, remember when so-and-so did this, or so-and-so, and it was like,
Yeah,
there's a
I'd be like,
time-
yeah, shut up, drink your beer.
Right. I mean, there's a time to rekindle and reminisce, but with them guys, it just seemed like it was every time.
That's all they were living for, were their glory days. Then.
Yeah.
Well, you know
Like
what?
in
When
the
you're
future.
when you're 25 or 30 and you're reminiscing, that's a big difference than when you're 50 or 60 reminiscing.
I think I brought this up before. I had a party here at the house when I first moved in, and I had old friends and new friends, and the old friends just kind of congregated to themselves, and the new friends were over here, and it was just like, that's not what I wanted. I wanted everyone
Yeah, right.
to join together.
To blend.
you know, it was the same thing. Oh, remember when you did this at the Sheridan? And remember
Yeah.
what, you know, so and so did, and you know,
Yeah.
so and so threw up, and you know, it was just, and I just got turned off on it. And
Yeah, I don't
You know
blame
what
you.
though, Mike? You when I always when I'm dealing with people, I always check. I mean, in my mind, I always say, okay, this guy has a commonality with this guy, so I'm gonna make sure I would invite both of them, knowing that even though they never met before, they're gonna have that commonality. You know what I mean? So when you're
Yeah.
doing a party, you almost got a successful party, you kind of got to pick and choose of who, you know, who's going to get along with who, even if it's one-on-one.
right.
Because sometimes all it takes is that one thing that you know, but there might be 6 other things in that group. You know what I mean?
Right. But you know, the thing with them is, and I'm not here to bash anybody, but it just seemed like everything was drink, drink, party, drink, drink till you couldn't walk anymore.
I know,
And I
but
mean,
that's the time that, you know.
And
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it's fine when you're in your 20s and, you know, up to your 30s, but you know, once you get past 40, you know, some of us I can't handle that anymore. I can't drink till I'm, you know, puking in the backyard or
Yeah, but
Yeah,
wouldn't it
that's
be
not
fucking
fun.
fun to try it again though?
No.
Kegger.
you know, so
No, a
it's-
hangover used to take 1 day. Now they take 3 days
Oh,
sometimes.
I remember those.
it's just sad that, you know, it had to get to the point where I had to somewhat walk away from some of the friendship.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if I'm doing it, if it's a good thing to do, or you know, but maybe it's just too late to rekindle.
Well, no, I mean, you're absolutely right about that, Mike. It gets to a point where a relationship could be caustic to you. Caustic?
Yeah.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It would actually
Yeah, right.
would bring you down.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out in October though at the reunion. So
Well, none of those people
if they
and our-
come.
well, there's nobody. Well, I don't know. I think some of them moved away. I think one's living in Florida now, and they didn't come to the 30, so I don't really see them coming for 40. But
yeah,
and you know, but it's sad because some of those people do live out in this area, you know, that we grew up with.
You know, Joey only lives literally like 2 minutes from me.
Yeah,
Joey who?
DeWitt?
I
Do
don't
you know Joey DeWitt?
Mm-mm.
and you know, Jim lives out here. I think he still lives in Plainfield or
Which Jim?
Harif.
I always
Yeah, I don't
wonder
think I
where
know.
he moved to.
I believe Tony moved to Florida last time I looked. You know, Frank, he became a doctor and kind of just
Who's Frank? Frank who?
Frank Bauman.
I don't know who that is.
I know that.
Dr. Frank Bauman. Oh my goodness.
Well, we
I
see
don't-
we had John Colesville in our class became a dentist.
You know, and
Host of
Big
the
John,
Fifth Dimension show.
John
Saturday
Mateo.
nights.
You know, all
I
those
remember
guys
John
that
Matea.
I hung out with. You know, Keith Garstecki lives in Aurora, I believe, and it's just sad that we don't connect as much as we used to
Yeah, right.
back then. You know, I don't know if that goes for the same for you guys, but
I find that I will be the one that once every quarter I try to send a text or a message and say hi. And some people will still say hi. They're like, "Hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. Are you still alive out there?" And after Steve died, a lot of people didn't know what to say, and I'm like, just say hi. You know, I can't change what happened. I've got to keep living, and so. But there's usually one person who will reach out more than others, and I'll do that once in a while, just because people hold special places in my heart, and you know, everybody works a lot now, and you know, it used to be.
That's the shame about, you know, having a tragedy like that. Because you'll end up losing friends over because they just don't know what to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just the uncomfortable part of that.
But your really good friends will, like some of them say, well, I didn't even know what to say. One person got mad because I started dating, and or just going out. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? He chose to leave this world, and I'm still alive, and I'm still young, and I'm still vibrant, and
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
young enough.
And you're
and-
finding your way. You know, it's a thing. It's a day-to-day thing, and emotions are real, and you just sort of have to follow. You just have to follow a path.
Mhm. And Mike, you know, hopefully maybe you will reconnect, and it works. It's two people that need to help connect, and
Yeah.
you know, but I get where he's at. You don't want to just talk about, yeah, we got drunk, we got stoned, we got this, we got that. But you have to, you know, sometimes it's hard to make the reconnects. Like sometimes I call one of my friends I've known since 8th grade, and, you know, I'll call every 3 or 4 months just to say, hey. And we used to talk like every day, all the time. And then I moved away, and, you know, the friendship is still there. And it's like we just pick up right where we left off.
You know
Well,
what's
Have
interesting
it for you that way.
about this group right now? There's 5 of us here, and Mike and I are the ones that we weren't really friends. We knew each other though.
Right.
We actually never hung out. But you know, if I would know Mike, he would know me. But yet, all 5 of us can sit on here and talk for 2 or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an amazing thing when you think about it.
Yeah, you know, and for years I kind of envisioned that in some way or shape that I would get to meet and know people that I never really got a chance to meet or know. And when I started running, I was starting to meet people, and then I would get to know them, and those relationships would just sort of evolve. And I often thought, well, you know, it would be interesting to meet and get to know somebody from your high school days, or perhaps your college days, or even your junior high days, and say,
Mm-hmm.
why not start now? You know, it's like, it's never
Why-
too late. Like,
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, look at this, Dan. Look what this did. What did this open up for us? Me showing you this.
Yeah.
We both talked about our meat tenderizers. There's a commonality that we didn't know at the shop. Well,
We both made
Rick,
instruments
this
to
is
beat
pretty-
our meat.
Yep.
And I
now
don't
it's
think
time for tender moments.
and I don't think if it wasn't for radio, Tracy and I probably would have never connected. And then, you know, with the
Hey, is this thing
musicals,
on?
with
Mm-hmm.
the musicals, that's where, you know, being in Laura's class,
Yeah.
you know,
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
you know, as far as I can remember, you know, I knew of Rick. I'm sure we've been at parties in the neighborhood, but, you know, the connection with Rick and I aren't as strong as the other three, and not to say that's a bad thing, but now that we're on here, you know, I feel like I've known him my entire life. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny how we can harken back, you know, to memories that we had. They might be individual memories in some ways, but we can all relate to them. You know, like there's all that little
and that was the fun thing about where we grew up, because you could go to someone's party, even though you weren't really good friends with them, they still invited you in,
yeah.
Yeah.
unattended.
God,
I used to like when you'd have a kegger though, and somebody would show up and you'd go, "What are you doing here?" And they'd
How
be all
about-
like,
Or
No,
how
they'd
about
be like,
someone
"Whoa, whoa,
sleeping on
whoa."
a couch
No,
the
no.
next morning?
well,
and
no, the
like,
next thing
what
I'd
is
say
that?
to them is, "Where's your fucking cup?" You know?
You know who threw epic parties at his house? He lived in Summit, John McDuffie's house. Did you guys ever go to any parties at his house?
No.
Ooh.
Oh wow. He had they had one of them big houses in Summit.
Oh,
you know.
Jim McGuffey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
And there were 3 floors of parties, and that's when I learned about Jack and Jill bathrooms. I was in the bathroom, I'm sitting on the toilet, and then I get up and I'm starting to pull my pants up, and somebody comes in from the other door. I was like, mortified. So somebody's
Awesome.
probably talking
gotta
about,
lock
hey,
all
I
the
saw
doors."
Costello shit. Huh?
Gotta lock all the doors.
Oh yeah, so ever since then, I would always when I go into a bathroom, I make sure it's just a closet. I'm not trying to be nosy. I just want to make sure nobody's gonna come walking in on the other side.
Do you guys remember being in high school? You know, you're in class and all of a sudden you'd hear down the hallway chick fight,
No.
Mm-hmm.
and the hallways would be full.
Yeah, actually, I do
The
remember
popcorn
that.
was being sold,
It was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
The girls?
The girls'
Oh, God.
fights were brutal. There was some major
Hair
hair pulling
pulling.
and
A lot of hair
punching,
pulling.
and
You know,
it was.
there were boobies flopping in the wind. Holy crap.
I just
Yeah.
remember.
I must have been sleeping. I don't.
Well, even the teachers would, everybody into the hallway.
They
and
were
even
hesitant, the
would-
teachers?
Yeah.
They would be like, no.
Yeah, them girls.
We
Some
were-
of them girls got vicious. I remember sophomore year, there were a lot of fights when I came to Argo sophomore year, and you heard chicks fighting. These girls they had that long hair, and they're pulling and yanking and punching. And
We were in Mr. Faulkner's class for two of them, and his eyes lit up. Chick fight. He'd open the door, and everybody out in the hallway.
that's funny. I had a few girls want to beat my butt because
Really?
it's sophomore year because I came. I wasn't there freshman year, and so then there's that whole group of people I didn't know, and
Oh,
this
boy.
one girl, Becky, she just didn't like me. And, she was like Polish and Mexican. I was like Mexican and Italian, but she could speak Spanish and I couldn't. And I guess the guy she dated in the
boy.
summer, I kind of hung out with. And it was like, we're going to beat your ass. Who the hell you think you are? You little pinchahuera. And I'm like, what the hell does
Whoa.
pinchahuera mean? Yeah, well, I found out what it meant, but I'm like, well, how do you dare? Just because you speak Spanish doesn't mean you're more. We're all American because we were born here,
Oh,
but
man, that stuff's complicated.
them girls
I gotta-
wanted to beat me up.
Man,
I got to
that's-
thank my brother for
complicated
me
shit.
never being really worried about walking the hallways, because after my dad died, he was a sophomore and I was in 8th grade. And he came into the room and he goes, "Get up and come on out in the garage." I said, "Fuck you. I don't want to." So he came up and he cracked me. And he says, "Come on, you're going to start lifting weights with us." And that was
That was a good
Right.
thing.
I could go, nobody messed with you.
I would fight 1-on-1, but I wasn't gonna take 5-on-1. I'm like, sorry, that's just not fair. And when I'd catch them all by themselves, they'd go, I said, well, what? You don't want to? And finally, I broke through to one of the girls, and she's like, "You're really not that bad." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm not." But it took a while. I was kind of, but Vody, Mr. Vody, as we called him, was my dad's friend. So he was always looking out for
I
me.
don't know
But
what
I
that
never
guy
wanted.
made for a living, but man, he should have been making like buku. Think of all
Who?
the work. Think of all the work he had to do.
Who, Vody?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was the school psychologist, bouncer. He was.
Well,
everything.
he was a bodyguard for a couple
Yeah.
of the big shots.
Mhm.
I remember we were talking. He was
Bodie here.
bodyguard for God. Who was it now? Oh, Samuel L. Jackson.
I
It was-
remember that, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson was doing a movie, and Vody was his personal
You know.
Hmm.
You know who
his
got
personal
involved.
bodyguard.
You know who got involved in security for the Stars? Saul White.
Really,
Remember Saul White?
he was a great basketball player.
Oh yeah, legend.
Yeah,
And could not assimilate in the structure.
Didn't he-
in the
didn't he go to
organized
Marquette?
structure.
I think he went to Marquette, right?
He may have, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that didn't last either. He's a big time security. He owns a business, I hear.
Is
And
he
he's
still
a-
in the
he's
Summit
a-
area?
He's a big deal in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he made it to the big time.
Well, we got Neil Maxa from our
Yeah,
class.
I saw that.
He's doing good. He's been with Lady Gaga, and now he's got a place in Vegas, I think. I think we should all take a trip and go visit him.
Hey Rick, do you remember what happened to Neil? Do you remember what happened to Neil as it related to football? And I really thought it was shitty.
No, I do not.
He had to make a choice between a game and a concert. He chose the concert, and I don't know if it matters if we're going to say names or whatever, but he basically got thrown off the team for it.
Oh, the coach.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. That was shitty.
Yeah, real shitty.
That was shitty.
Well-
And there was a lot of us guys who were pissed off about that too.
Real shitty. Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah,
did
we
that.
went
there.
through the motions in practice for about a week.
Oh boy, I bet you did.
We were pretty
Yeah.
much, to the coaches.
If I had it to do it over, if I was a real journalist, I would have wrote that thing and I would have ripped,
I
and
know.
I got along with that gentleman that did that to him.
I know.
So it's not cut and dry. It's not nothing. It's not cut and dry.
Well, obviously he made the right choice because
He made the right choice for him.
Because my friend, did you guys know Juan Garza?
Yeah,
He was in
very
jazz.
talented musician.
Yeah, Juan and I were pretty good friends, and so that's how I kind of like know Neil through jazz band. I
Those
didn't know
guys had a
Neil
lot
great,
of talent.
but yeah, we had
Neil brought a
lot of-
levity to the football team too,
I
man.
bet he did.
I mean, he was just nuts.
We should have been Cablevision of Chicago. We should have brought the cameras out onto the field, and we should have just filmed you guys practice.
I'll tell you what, if I ever meet the producer of that show our junior year, I'll crack him right in the head.
Which one?
Oh, I knew.
Sports Vision.
Oh, that. I don't even.
Well, I
we
had to stop.
were playing Stag junior year at Stag, and we beat them 19-7.
Right.
Come on, say it. Say what do you say after Stag? Stag what?
No,
Oh,
I'm not.
it's
I'm going to
politically
show
incorrect.
respect.
We can't say it now.
Yeah, you got to go.
Okay.
But in on the tackle, and we were all over at Sweejack's house watching the game. And the tackle, Richard Crotch.
Oh.
Son of a bitch. You Jagmo.
Hey, Tracy.
Should have hired me.
Oh
Tracy.
my God.
Getting back to your writing, you actually are a really good writer.
Yeah.
That
Oh. Thank you.
thing you just posted, it was really, really good.
Yeah, it's really a talent that I feel like I'm really wasting of all of the things in life. That's like the one thing I'm really sort of wasting.
Well, wasn't your idol in high school Taylor Bell?
No, not necessarily. I was a big time journalist. I really thought that I was going to do that for a living. And then as I started realizing what the nuts and bolts of that was,
Mm-hmm.
it really turned me off. And I just, that's why I always say hats off to Jimmy Pluta, because Jimmy did what I could not do. He did the work, he lived the life, and I couldn't do it.
I used to call him Pluta Face all the time. He was a good, friend. I loved him so much.
He could do it, and I was embarrassed because I could be very eloquent and this and that, but
Well, you made our football team look good with some of your stories. I mean,
we
get our asses kicked 62-0, and you brought a ray of light into. Well, at least they didn't lose more than 30 yards.
I appreciate it, and
Yeah,
I worked hard to do that. But there was a time where I actually got a job with what was supposed to be a weekly magazine for high school football. I was not only covering Argo, my junior year, I was literally on the weekend interviewing every coach from the SICA West Conference and literally covering their games for this publication. So I had all of these interviews and such, and I put them into the Maroon, and there were guys on the football team that wanted to kill me. Hey, do you remember that?
I do.
You remember that? I know we talked about this before.
I pretty much told them too. I said, just leave them the fuck alone,
It's a good thing you guys didn't hear the stuff on the radio then, what I was saying.
Just
But Rick, listen, it's 40 years later, and I'm a little late with the appreciation, but thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know Rick was, I should have known. Right.
And, and that was one of the parts that I was kind of upset with the radio station was they never let us interact with the coaches or players or got any perspectives or interviews or anything. You were just going in blind.
I know.
You knew nothing.
I don't know if I wish Tracy was in the meeting room before we played Stag though.
Oh man.
And the rage in the coach's eye, you know who I'm talking. I mean, it was we would have ran through the wall. I mean, that's how bad we wanted to beat these guys. because they had big Gaylord Christopherson.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Remember him? And Joey DeMumbrum, God rest his soul.
Dopey. I love Joe.
He's gone? I didn't know that.
got into Gaylord's head, and Gaylord got ejected. Because Dum Dum was beating him. He was beating him bad. And
That dude was some sort of freak.
Joey got into his head, and they ended up tossing him out of the game. Gaylord.
I haven't heard that name in ages, but as soon as you said it, I remembered it like I just wrote about it.
I hit against him a couple times, and he was
300
hurt.
pounds?
Yeah, his ribs were hurt.
Tall.
Yeah,
Real tall.
he was probably 6'6", weighed about 310.
Yeah.
But he'd
high
stand up
school.
on you. He'd stand up on you, and I'd get my elbow and
How
put
the
it right
hell
under.
old was that guy?
Well, you put your elbow under the shoulder pads here, and you crack his rib.
Mm.
And you could hear the crack. So we knew we hurt him.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Oh man, there were a lot of untold stories, but I see the thing of it is, I always say I was born too late. So years ago, the writers were in cahoots with the players.
Yeah.
So when the New York Yankee ball players were basically out partying and doing all the crazy shit that they were doing, yet still winning, go figure, nothing got written.
No.
All of the exploits, all of the bad behavior you never heard about it. The writers would cover it up.
Yep.
And now if they if they tweet wrong, or if they whatever, it's public consumption.
Or they have yeah.
And I could see the turn, and this was in the early to mid 80s. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to live this life. I don't want to be that guy.
You know what? It turned into, what if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
The more bad stuff you could say about somebody, the more papers you'd sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't have that personality.
I think the best I ever saw was Lee Elia with the Cubs.
The tirade.
Oh my God. It was all the time with him though, because he hated reporters. And another good one was Ditka.
Yeah. God.
Mike Ditka he'd bury a reporter if he got
I'll tell you
him.
what, Ditka made you watch. I haven't watched the news in years. Ditka was like, you had to watch. You literally would wait to watch the sportscast to hear what he had to say.
You'd miss a Hall of Fame quote if you
It
missed
was like so freaking compelling.
Yeah.
And now, like, I could give a shit less. I don't know if there's anything as compelling as that was. I really don't know.
Well, his first year in '83.
Yeah.
How bad his players were, and he wasn't shy about it.
Oh no, he wasn't.
He's like 3/4 of them guys in that locker room will not be here next year. I can guarantee it.
And he did it.
And he did it.
That area draft, all those guys just took over that roster.
Oh God,
It was
Covert.
incredible.
It was
Whole
Covert.
draft.
Bortz.
All the way through the list. It was incredible. And a lot of those Bears that thought they were hot shit, he got rid of them.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of cleaning house, big time
Yeah.
cleaning house.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I'll still always be. I love the Bears.
Do you?
Well, I mean, it's because it just reminds me. There, I'm going to go backwards, but it was just a lot of fun growing up with the
It
Bears
was.
and the Bulls and the Hawks, and
It
even
was
even though
so
they're
cool.
disappointing us now,
It
things
was-
change and they evolve.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead.
I just don't understand the logic of what the Hawks are doing. They're
You're
saying this
gonna
could
be you're gonna make yourself sick now.
this is going to be a 5-year.
Take that Xanax and just relax, buddy. It's gonna be okay, Mike.
I mean,
have
how do you-
another
remember-
beer or something.
Yeah,
how do
drink
you
one of
go
them Seagrams.
from
I remember
You
how
know,
this,
how do you go
remember-
from like the top teams, championships?
It
three-
happens to every team though, Mike.
and
Except maybe the Yankees.
you keep this one player on the team that's not doing anything, but just has the letter C on his shirt.
Jonathan Tays. They
And
should have got rid of him 10 years ago.
Yeah, him and
Yeah.
Kane, it just gets to a point where it's no longer a functional team, and they're not gonna make the team any better going forward. And the salaries that they're commanding are so great, it's not feasible to just continue on. I mean, I would
can see
rather
what Mike's saying though. The kid was only 24 years old.
Yeah, I would rather see him play DeBrincat over Kane, because at least with DeBrincat you had a chance that here's an up and comer. He plays like that other guy, Panini. What was his name?
Panarin.
They got rid of him too.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
ended up with the Rangers.
So there's this pattern here where it's so frustrating. And the guys, those veteran players, yeah, God love them. They won 3 championships, 3 Stanley Cups. God love them. But at this point, in this advanced stage, it's just not viable for them to be on that roster.
I think what the Hawks need to do is bring back Mike Keenan.
You just can't win. Oh, God. Ah!
He got rid of Hasek because he said he played too.
I know.
He wasn't normal.
Uh,
Now he's in the Hall of Fame.
Mike
Sometimes
Keenan.
makes you wonder though when they do stuff like that in sports. Like, okay, how much is this controlled by like someone else? Like,
right.
did they say
Yeah.
you don't bring him
Well,
back?
I think
and-
you're right, Laura. I think coaches nowadays, the younger ones come in and they're puppets.
It's bad.
Mhm.
They're sport puppets.
Well, one of the other sad things is this NHL draft. 90% of these guys who get drafted tonight won't even see a game next year.
No.
They won't even be on the team next year. At least when you draft in basketball or football, some of those guys will start
Yeah.
the upcoming season. So you're bringing in all this young talent to go to Rockford, or some of them are still playing college hockey.
Yeah.
So why waste a draft pick for someone who you might not see for 3 years?
Yeah.
Well, someone might have some reasoning behind it, but
And
I'm with
You
you.
know,
I get you.
they've had so many draft picks in the past. I can't recall some of their names, but some of those guys didn't even make it. They just stayed in the AHL, and
Yeah.
they got rid of what was his name, Boquist. They got rid of him, and he was supposed to be a top prospective player, and they traded him off. And
Yeah.
Who was the goalie they got rid of that was supposed to be so good? A couple years back. He backed up Crawford.
Sorry, guys.
Same here.
Can't think.
we had?
I'm an hour later.
Yeah.
Oh, are we going to hear that again?
I feel
Mike.
like
No, I'm kidding.
Junior.
I'm like,
Yeah,
No.
I just yawned.
like 2
We're
hours
gonna
behind.
we're gonna shut it down in about
Yeah,
5 minutes.
Dan's got to get. You probably didn't even pack yet, did you?
It's a school night.
Do you worry about packing or no?
No, I just throw a bunch of clothes on the bed and Mary packs it.
There you go.
Guys are easy
Wow.
to pack.
That's teamwork.
God love you, Mayor.
She's a good wife. Sounds
She is.
like.
Yeah, she's the best.
How
Oops.
many years you been married?
37.
Wow.
Yep.
No law against it.
No,
Grace, you and Dara are 31, 32,
30.
30.
But we've been coupling since 84, so
Yeah,
long time. Not
long
recent.
time.
Not recent.
38 years.
How about that in November?
we've been coupling since probably 1980.
8 out. Like
And
a good golf
And I'm
swing.
not gonna go any further than that.
That's where the-
No,
That's where the
because we all
train
have
stops.
That went pretty
imagination.
far out.
All right, I'm out of here.
Hey,
Oh man!
hey, I don't want to put any kind of visions, but I had a van, so
Yeah.
Oh,
Chevy
think that's
van
fun.
too, right?
no, it was a Dodge. actually.
Shagadelic, baby.
I
there
used
you
to
go.
like the bumper stickers that would say "Don't laugh, your daughter might be in here" on the back of the vans back in the day.
Boom!
What was it? Gas,
Yeah,
grass,
what was
or
it?
ass?
Ass, gas, or grass. Nobody rides for free.
That was
Uh-huh.
on my brother's Harley actually. He had it written on the oil.
Man, whoever wrote that bumper sticker, hopefully they invested wisely.
Well, shit happens.
about
That happened. Forrest Gump invented that one.
Shit happened.
Probably.
I had a shirt with a Mexican smiley face and a sombrero, and it said "Shit happens."
Yeah.
All right,
one more.
guys.
All right,
Cool.
Dan, you have
Have
a safe
fun.
trip.
All right.
Safe travels.
I won't be home till Saturday late night,
Happy trails.
so we'll probably miss next week.
Ah.
That's good.
Oh, you're gone a long time.
Well, Tracy can do it next week.
There, actually, just so you know, anybody's can do it.
I get the thigh dial.
If you
Just give us
record,
like
if you
5
guys,
minutes warning, Trace.
if you
Thigh
guys
dialer,
record
baby.
it and send it to me, I can edit it.
I gotta figure out the recording part though. Oh man.
It's the record button.
Yeah,
Oh,
that red button.
I figured it would be that
Any
easy.
key, Trace.
I gotta figure it out though.
All right,
Good night,
talk to you
guys.
guys. Thanks for
All
coming
right,
on.
safe on.
Safe
Be good.
Take care,
travel.
guys.
All right, see you
Take care,
guys.
everyone. Have a good week.
It's awesome.
You know,
Thanks.
take care.
All right, fade to black.